Hi guys, Puddin here with the game for you in my Tier 10 French battleship, the Republique. Now, my captain skills are going to be priority target, expert marksman, adrenaline rush, basics of survivability, superintendent, fire prevention, and concealment. This is the first game with that build. My modules are protect my main battery, damn com 1, better aiming, faster get up and go, concealment, and faster reload. I pretty much ripped off everything that made a secondary build on this thing pretty much go away because it kind of wasn't working for me. And Sneaky said, well, why don't you just go with the more of a pure gun build? So it's kind of what I did here. Now, as you can see, I am divvied up with OniTheWicked. I do believe he finally got around to changing his name. So, time for more shameless plugs. If you haven't already gone and check him out, please go check him out. He is a very good friend of the channel. He's an excellent player, and he really does take the time to explain everything that he's doing. And he's a really good source for learning how to get better and understanding what like the super unicums are doing. You know, those hard to hit people, those like, why is that guy doing this? Why is that guy there? He does a really good job of explaining why he's doing certain things in situations. Now, as you can see, we are going on we are going to Seaside. Now, his piece of advice for me was to hone down my aggression a little bit and, you know, use the range to my advantage and then push up more towards the end of the, when I could really use my health to my advantage. Now, I don't bother switching to AG because I figured I wouldn't have a second shot on the guy. Then I would only have one, and luckily somebody killed him. So I didn't have to possibly change to HE to deal with the DD. Gonna slow down and start shooting at the North Carolina, but considering I am divvied up with Wicked, I'm really looking for radar cruisers to plat for him. Most of my thought process for this game is, what can I do to make his life better, easier, safer per se? So I will shoot at DDs a little bit over anything else, and especially radar cruisers. I want to make sure that my division mate has the easiest time possible for him to dish out the damage that he can do. He's obviously going to have an easier time fighting DDs, but if I can get a couple good whacks in, that is going to help him out. Considering he is playing a destroyer, he can pretty much outright nuke everybody. So if I can help get rid of the radar cruisers, even better. That North Carolina that I've been shooting at, I have focused on a little bit too long. I'm going to focus on him a little bit too long when I should have kind of switched to a different target, because I don't, for whatever reason, I was having a difficult time actually landing shots because he kept fading in and out as I was shooting. As we are shooting on the North Cal that everybody is focused fire on. But this is what I mean, like, I shot at the guy, I'm trying to see where the shells are going to land. Noticed that he was slowing down. And of course, he disappears before the shells hit. So I'm like, okay, this guy's tendency seems to be slow down. I see him, again, going to take the shot. with the assumption that he's going to slow down, and instead he's maintaining his speed, turning in, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm done with him. He's just being a pain in my butt. I might as well deal with the rooster. I do believe Wicked asked for me to, hey, if you ever get shots on the rooster, please take them, and of course I will. Now what I'm actually doing is going to continue up the 9-10 line because I want to get good clean shots in on the rooster. The other thing is you can see the rooster is making a run for it. The only real viable place for him to go to is the island at between C and D. What is that? 7? But pretty much where he's running to now. And because I'm continuing my path forward, as I'm going to fail to do any serious damage to a broadside cruiser. 9K is nice, but I think it should have been a lot more. I'm just going to continue going up north to deal with the rooster. This gentleman just needs to get out of the game. I took my shot even though I said I was going to hit the island, and luckily I must have shot at that absolute perfect time to where my shells actually hit the small little gap that is at that island. Now there's the Moscow pushing him and myself.
Engine boost deactivated.
Now because I am all the way out on the 9 line, kind of pushing the 10 line, kind of gives my shells a little bit of an arc to go over the island. Unfortunately, he kind of disappears relatively quick, but the Moscow is really close. To the guys that were on B, and as you can see, he got punished for it. I don't want to shoot at this gentleman because I just want to actually outright surprise the rooster. Of course, he's going to spot me before I spot him, but the Moscow is making a push to actually get the shots. I'm going to take the shots in on this guy in hopes that we get him. Luckily for me, I do get the kill. Now, if you notice, we're losing B. Ship count is kind of even, but positioning-wise, we're all on seaside. Pretty much all the enemy has to do at this point is get B and hold it. Wait for us to come to them. Instead, what they're going to do is get what I believe is overconfident and push us. All they needed to do was stop their pushes, turn out, defend B from more or less by A side, and let us trickle in. Let us trickle in and make all the mistakes, but instead they're the ones that are kind of trickling in instead of us, which is going to make it easy pickings really for us. I do believe Wicked was asking for shots on the curve first, but luckily, like I said, before he called out, I was already looking, shooting at him. Don't want him to get caught in that nasty hydro, because like I said, we've kind of forced into defend A because everybody's coming to us. And if they want to come to us one at a time, I am more than happy to deal with that because it's going to be fairly easy to deal with. And I do believe I said one at a time, Hindenburg. You're screwing up the game plan of one at a time, along with the Kronstadt and the North Carolina that were initially at sea here, but have pretty much just ran away. They weren't kiting. They were really running.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
I'm focused on the radar cruiser first because it's a radar cruiser, and my div mate is in a DD, and I wanted to get rid of the radar for him. I'm really trying to do everything to support him. Now, I am actually trying to turn back to turn south. But I do notice the Kronstadt is just kind of sitting there broadside, so I'm like, you know what, I'll take a couple shots in on him and just see what I could do as I get a nice juicy citadel. I like it's enough damage with both guns. I'm gonna just turn and start heading south and kind of just use my rear guns until I get my front guns swung around. The reload on the ship is fast enough that I'm more than satisfied with just using my rear guns, but then Wicked calls out, hey man, can you give me a hand with this Kurfürst also? Now, hindsight's always 2020, and unfortunately, we lost Wicked to that Kurfürst. And prior to him losing that, he's like, oh, I'm going to rush this Kurfürst. When there wasn't really a need for it, he could have just kind of set out the torps. He was also low enough to where I or one of the other two gentlemen that were left could have dealt with him. Now we are down on points. They have the ship lead, but we've got one cap, and this is what I've said, or have said in other videos. If you can at least get one cap and start getting kills, you will be okay. As we get a nice juicy 20k off of this North Cal, which pretty much means the next thing that hits him should kill him. And if it's two of us, anybody who just doesn't get the damage, just gets overpens or something, the other gentleman should be able to finish him off. Because as you can see, the North Cal is trying to heal through it. And luckily, the other Repub got the kill. Now, the Massachusetts and the Repub are, you know, just as much of game-saving plays as what I'm about to do. I'm the furthest one away from any of the caps except for C. These guys are going to go and get B. And I do believe the Repub or somebody says, oh, I'm going to go Kronstadt hunting. And I just simply say, get B first, please. Now, we're trying to help these guys or be like, hey man, we can still win this. I said this, we can still win. That's what I started with. We can still win. We're not out of this fight. We're not out of this game. There's still a chance, but we have to do this smartly. And we have to get A and B, and somebody's going to have to stay at C and hold out for as long as possible. Now, I do believe, spoiler alert, I do compliment the Massachusetts at the end of this game because he's the one that kind of makes the unsung hero move. He goes with the Republic to B, and then he makes a move on to A. Now we can see the Kronstadt going to turn my guns to hopefully help finish him off or just outright finish him off. Should have aimed a little bit more forward, but hey, some damage is better than no damage in some cases, but I'm kind of worried about their destroyer, and then I'm like, you know what, I need to kill this guy. I need to help finish this guy. He needs to just be gone. We need a kill to kind of bring some of the points back into us as as the DD smokes up and starts shooting me, because of course this gentleman can see me, one of the other two puts him on extremely low, and I'm thinking, okay, this guy's as good as dead. And he didn't, but what I'm trying to do is stay on this cap as long as possible, and if I get off, I'll be off for just a short period of time to stop the enemy for when they're going to get in the cap. I'm going to try to use these channels here to my advantage to limit the torp angles that this guy can send. I do believe it's British, so he can single torp, but I still want to narrow down where he can really torp me from and how many he can land. As smoke is dissipating, and you know what, we're getting B. So it's a 1v1 in the cap race, and it is the daring, and he's making his play. Even though I do not have any sort of secondary thing, except for my flag. I never did take the flag off. I'm still going to click this guy because you get somewhat of an advantage. Now, what I'm going to do is, if I don't stop in time, is just run aground, reverse, or do whatever. I need to stay on this cap because that's going to keep them from getting it. And also locks in 30D for the moment, because these guys have to know that one guy's coming back to help defend, because the last two ships are on seaside, so we know that there. But this is where we go with Wicked's trying to, you know, tell the guy, like, hey man, you gotta get B. You gotta get B. I mean, you gotta get A. We need to get A. If we don't get A, we're not gonna win. Now, I did switch to the HE because it is a BD I'm dealing with, and you can see just, you know what, just the difference I got with HE compared to AP. I was only maybe doing 1,000 damage with AP, and with the accuracy of these guns and the amount that I have, really wasn't doing much compared to just the few shots that I did connect with the HE loaded against that gentleman. I'm going to keep the HE loaded until that gentleman's done dead. Then I will switch to AP. Now, I'm thinking he might come out in front, which is why I'm looking there. Then I kind of noticed he's kind of taking his time too long. There goes all of his torps in the wrong direction because I decided to reverse. Now, I look at the backside of the island because it's been a while. He hasn't shot, and if I was going to come out, I would come out the back. As we get the enemy DD, and that pretty much just seals the deal, wraps up the game. Not going to matter too much if I die or not, because the mass is going to get A anyways. And then if we lose the second guy, it doesn't really matter because they're just too far up. The mass and this Gascon are just too far apart from. But I thought that guy would have came out a little bit sooner, and instead of just shooting HE at what I was going to assume was going to be his broadside, I took the chance and reloaded the guns. And you know what? This is where the fast reload of the Republic comes into play. Now I am kind of aiming underneath his front turret, even though it looks like I'm aiming right at his nose. I do know these shells are going to take a little bit to get there. Pretty much just aimed right underneath the front gun. As you can see, I got a nice citadel.
Fire alarm.
I tried the same shot with the rear turrets, and it didn't work. Didn't get a Citadel, so with the front gun, I'm kind of aiming underneath the boiler. But time is quickly wrapping up, and spoiler alert, I do get this kill with no time left, and now the post-battle results. I hope you guys really did enjoy this replay. I really do hope you guys do go check out OniTheWicked's Twitch. I've been pimping that out lately an awful lot. Just let them know where you guys came from, that, you know, you are coming from us. I don't know, just maybe make them smile or laugh. If you just go and chat and just go blame Sneaky. Because it's what I've been doing whenever something goes wrong. Just blame Sneaky. Just so you all know, me and Sneaky get along fine. We just do enjoy poking fun out of each other. Now, we do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you do send in. The email for that is in the description down below, along with a link to Oni's and Doyle's Twitch page. Twitch page. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one heck of a great day.